Welcome to the Roulette Master TV, where we go back in time to reveal amazing roulette systems of the past. Today's system is I can't believe I didn't think of this myself, and I think you're going to really enjoy this. Let's get started. This is the Roulette Master, and you're not going to believe this incredible new roulette system that was sent in by one of my subscribers, Solomon. I can't believe I haven't thought of this before. It is really genius, and I can't wait to share with you. We're going to put it up against the Dr. Pepper roulette system today in a head-to-head matchup, 15 minutes of playtime each. I can't wait to see which one wins the most. If you haven't seen Dr. Pepper roulette, it's a fantastic roulette system. I'm going to share both of these systems and how they can help you win money in the casino. Let's go ahead and jump right into it and get started. Once I have the bets placed here, I'll start the timer, and here we go. So we're going to start with, let's go with third column, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to play this. We're going to be on third column for 20 and then red for 30. All right, let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. Timer's going. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see how much money both these systems make and which one wins. And when you lose, you just increase by the amount that you started with. So that means 20 on the column and 30 on the color. And the cool thing about this is that it's always the same, so you don't have to worry about remembering anything. It's always the same. If you lose, you go up by the same amount. The amount that you started with, and couldn't have had a worse start than what we did right there, but that's okay. You're going to find out here in a second. We're going to increase by 20 and 30 on red. 20 was on the column. Let's go ahead and spin, and once we get some wins, you'll see we can come right back from this and start making a lot of money. That's a 7 red, and that's a $30 win. When you get a win and you're not in profit, you just go ahead and rebet at the same amount. And the cool thing about this is there's so many red numbers in that third column, and we just hit one right there. Look at that, $210. So we're up 90 now, even after that rough start. And the reason why that's so cool is because look at how many red numbers there are in that third column. Lots of jackpot numbers. We're going to go back, but now we're going to switch to second column for 20. And I'm going to explain why here in a second. We're going to have 30 on black, 20 on second column. And look at all those black numbers in the second column. That's why. And when we hit a jackpot, we're going to switch from black to red and switch columns from third to second. That's a 27 red. That would have been nice if we'd stayed on it there for one more, though. But we lost, so we'll increase by 20 on the column and 30 on the color. And let's spin again. And remember, you can also do this with $3 and $2 or $10 and $15. Whatever fits your budget, and you can adjust the bankroll accordingly. And I'll talk about that here in a second. Let's increase by 20 and 30. Now we have a 150 total bet. Then we'll check our balance here again. And we're 2 minutes into this 15-minute first part of the challenge here. That's a 33 black, and that's a partial win of 30, and we'll be happy to take that. But let's just rebet and spin. And here we go. Let's see what we get here. That is a 20 black, and that is another jackpot, $210 win. Now we're up $180. We switch back to third column for 20 and red for 30. Look at that. Now we're back to $50 base total bet, and here we go. That's a 12 red. Jackpot right off the first spin. That's awesome. So we're up $250. Now we switch back to 20 on second column and 30 on the black color here. $50 total bet, and when you hit a jackpot, you switch. And I'll go over again why it's so important to choose those ones. And there's another jackpot. Look at that, back to back. We're up $320. Now we're going to have 20 and 30, $50 total. We're switching back to red and third column. Here we go. We're only 3 minutes and 15 seconds in, already doing fantastic, and there's a $10 win. And as long as you win one of those, you're doing pretty good. Let's just go ahead and repeat the bet and spin again here. And let's see what we get. That is an 8 black. And that's another win. So awesome. We're up $340. So we'll just repeat that bet. Here we go. Still at $50 base level, and let's spin. 4 minutes and 12 seconds in out of 15. And that's a 36 red. And that's a $10 win. We will take it. We're already up $350. Let's just rebet and spin again here. Let's see what we get. That is an 18 red. All right, that's a $10 win. We're up 360. Let's rebet and spin. And sorry the 19 to 36 was uncovered, or you couldn't see it yesterday. I'm having to, we're doing a remodel of my studio and forgot to cover that up. We're up $370 now. Okay, that's awesome. Let's go ahead and just rebet and spin. Let's see if there's another jackpot coming our way. And here we go. And actually, I made a mistake there. We should be on red and red for 30 and third column for 20. Sorry about that. Again, third column always has to go with red. Second column always has to go with black. And that's a 24 black there. That's a $10 win. We're up 390. Let's rebet and spin. And again, that's because there's so many red numbers in the third column and so many black numbers in the second column. And there's another jackpot. Look at that. So you can tell we were betting on third column in red, and we hit 12, so we hit both. Now we're going to switch back to black, and then 20 on the column, 30 on the color, black in second column. Here we go. Sometimes when I'm talking, I make a little mistake, but if you make a mistake when you're playing roulette, just go ahead and jump right back on board with what you were doing, and everything will be okay. We just hit another jackpot there. We're up $530 already, and we're going to switch now to 20 on third column and 30 on red again. Here we go. 6 minutes and 20 seconds in out of 15 with Dr. Pepper Roulette, and that is a 00. So that's definitely a loss. So we're just going to rebet and add 20 to the column and 30 to the color and spin again. Now we have a $100 total bet. And here we go. That's a 30 red. Fantastic. That's a $140 win. So that's another jackpot. Look at that. 30 in third column and red at the same time. So we'll switch back to second column for 20 and black for 30. We are up $620 already. Incredible. Here we go. We're 7 minutes in out of 15. And that's a 13 black. All right, that's a win. So we're just going to rebet that and spin. We're up $630 already. Man, that is incredible. That's a 29 black. That's a $70 win. So you know what that means? We hit the color and the column. Look at that, 29 black. And we're going to switch again. Now we'll be 20 on third column, 30 on red, and spin. And also, I can't wait to show you Solomon's new system. You're going to absolutely love this. I can't believe I haven't thought of what he came up with myself. You're going to really love it. So let's go ahead and increase again. 20 column, 30 color, and spin. And here we go. That's a 1 red. Okay, that's a win. So we're up $670. Let's just rebet and spin again. $100 total. And here we go. That's a 9 red. $140 win. Look at that. That is incredible. We're up $810 already. Now we're going to go to 20 on second column, 30 on black, and let's spin. Wow, 8 minutes and 20 seconds in out of 15, and just absolutely doing fantastic today with Dr. Pepper Roulette. There's another jackpot right there. We're up $880. You can see that 17 black hit and the second column. So let's switch back to red and third column, 20 and 30, $50 total, and let's spin. Here we go. That is a 13 black. And that's a loss. So again, we always increase by the same amount, 20 on column, 30 on color, and spin. $100 total bet now. And that's one thing I love about this. It's so easy to keep track of. And that's a 34 red. And that's a $20 win. We'll take it. We're up $850. And let's spin again. Here we go. And that's a 35 black. Okay, and that's a loss. So we're going to increase by the amount we started with. 20, 30, and spin. Here we go. All right, that's a 33 black. And that's a $30 win. We'll take that. We're up 780. We'll just rebet and spin. And here we go. That's an 8 black. That's a loss, so we'll increase. 20, 30, and $200 total bet now. Let's go ahead and spin. We're 10 minutes in. And that's a 3 red. Look at that, a $280 win there. We're up $910. Now we go to 20 on second column, 30 on black. And let's spin again. Man, Dr. Pepper Roulette is killing it today. I love this, and I can't wait for Solomon's new system. You're going to absolutely love it. And we're going to increase after that loss. 20, 30, and spin, $100 total. And like I said, I can't believe I didn't think of what Solomon's doing, and I can't wait to share it with you. That's a 36 red. And let's go ahead and increase. 20, 30, and spin, 150 total. 10 minutes and 40 seconds in out of 15. And double zero. So that's not good. So we'll increase. You always increase by the same amount after losses. 20 on the column, 30 on the color, and $200 total bet here. Let's get a win. And that's a 19 red. And that's a loss, so we'll increase again. 20, 30, 250 total bet now, and we're 11 minutes and 12 seconds in. Let's see if we can get another jackpot. And that's a 6 black. And that's a nice partial win at 50. We'll keep the bet the same. Dropped us back a little bit in the profit, but that's just because we haven't hit a jackpot in a little while. And that's okay, that happens sometimes. And that's a 34 red. And that's another total loss. So you can see profit's going down temporarily. We're going to go 20, 30, and spin. And here we go, $300 total bet now. This is why you need a $2,000 bankroll, but it's not necessary if you use smaller bets. And there's a nice $60 partial win, and we'll just rebet and spin. And always remember, if you change the bet amount, just use math and make sure it's proportionate to the amount that you started with. And there's a $60 partial win. We'll take that. Let's rebet and spin. $300 total bet now. We have 3 minutes left here in the first part of this challenge, and that's a 9 red. And that's a total loss. So we're going to increase by 20, 30, 350 total bet here, and let's spin. And that's a 16 red. And that's another loss. So you can see this is why you need the bankroll. And we'll go up by 20, 30, $400 total bet now. And let's see if we can get a jackpot here coming up here. Let's see what we get. And that's a 36 red. That's another total loss. So now you see why we need the $2,000 bankroll. And here we go, 450 total bet. We were doing fantastic. Now we're struggling a little bit. So we have 2 minutes left. That's an 8 black. Jackpot, $630 win. And we're not in session profit. So we just, but we do need to switch to the other side. Let's see what we have on here. We have 270 and 180. So now we're going to have 270 on red, and then 180 on third column. And here we go, 450 total bet. 13 and a half minutes into 15, and that's a 5 red. That's a nice $90 partial win. Let's go ahead and just rebet and spin again. We need a red number in that third column, or just a bunch of partial wins works as well. That's a 32 red. Another $90 win, we'll take it. We're up 90. Let's just rebet and spin at 450 total. 1 minute left. And that's a 31 black. And that's a loss there. So we're going to have to increase again. 20, 30. Let me back one of those out. $500 total bet now. Again, this is why you need the $2,000 bankroll, but you don't have to play with that much. You can play with a lot less and just reduce the starting bet amounts. And let's go ahead and rebet, but we need to add 20 and 30. Let's spin again at 550 here. Let's see a jackpot. And that's a 15 black. That's a nice partial $110 win, but let's just rebet and spin at 550. We have 15 seconds left. And that's a 12 red. And a jackpot. Way to finish it off. We just ran out of time. We ended up only up $20 though. But we had the thing that's great about Dr. Pepper Roulette is it cycles, and we should have cashed out when we were up almost $900. But this is a 15-minute each challenge, so I had to complete the challenge. I'm glad you got to see the ups and downs with Dr. Pepper Roulette. But obviously most of us would have cashed out when we were up over $800. But we ended up with a $20 win. But now it is time. I can't wait for this. Solomon's new roulette system. I think you're going to absolutely love this. I can't believe I didn't think of it. Let's go ahead and get started with that and see how much money we can make in the next 15 minutes. Here we go. All right, it is time for Solomon's new amazing roulette system. I can't believe I didn't think of this myself. Let's place the bets and then we'll start the timer. We're going to be on first and third, and let's change those to $10 bets. And those are going to be, we're going to leave out the 12 that hit last, but this is very different than other systems. In fact, we're going to increase the bet whether we win or lose on the first bet. So I'm going to show you why and what to do different. And we started out with a loss. So the progression is going to be very different whether we win or lose the first bet. So we're going to have, but the first part of it is the same. That's the only part that's the same. Let's go ahead and rebet that and go from 10 to 30 on each. That's a $60 total bet, and here we go. Okay, that's a 5 red. Okay, and if we win if we start out by a loss and then we win, we go back to the initial bet, but it's going to be different if we win the first bet. So now we're going to be on second and 12. We're going to leave the first 12 out that just hit. We're currently up $10. And the timer's going, and here we go. That is a 33 black. And that's a win. So when we win, we also increase from 10 to 30. And we're going to be on first and second now because third 12 just hit. And now we're going to be on 30 also after we won. So I'm going to show you what we do next here. And that's a 13 black. And we won. So now we're going to actually go from 30 back to 20, and we'll be on first and third. And I'll explain to you why here in a second. We're up $50. Let's go ahead and spin. That's a 31 black. And that's a win. So now we're going to go to $60 on first and second. And we're up $70. If you haven't noticed, on the wins, we're doing a 1-3-2-6. On the losses, it's different. So I'll explain that more as we go through. This is a 120 total bet on the win here, and that's a 12 red. And we got the win. So if we go 10, 30, 20, 60, we start over on wins. So let's see where we're at. We're up $130 already. We're going to go back to 10 on second and third. So we're going to be using a positive progression if we win, and if we lose, we're going to use a negative progression. So how about that? And there's a loss, so that means we go into a negative progression. But again, the second bet is always the same. It goes from 10 to 30. So let's do that. And spin, whether you win or lose. And here we go. And we won. So since that was after a loss, we start over. So the negative progression starts over when you get a win. The positive progression goes until you get a loss. And let's go ahead and look here. We're up $140. And we're going to go back to 10 on first and second. All right, here we go. I'll explain this more as we go through. Once you get the hang of it, you're going to absolutely love it. And there is a loss, but either way, we go from 10 to 30. So let's go ahead and do that. But if you lose the first one like we just did, you enter a negative progression, which means we're going to increase the bets after losses. If we win the first one, we're going to go into a 1-3-2-6 positive progression. And since we went into a negative progression, once we win, we start over. So you can see we're up 150. We're going to go back to the beginning. And let's go ahead and spin it 10 each. So again, the first spin, like the one we have right now, determines whether it's going to go negative or positive progression. And we lost. That means it goes negative progression, which means we increase after losses. And we're going to go from 10 to 30. Now, if we had won, we would have went to 30 also. But the difference is after a win, it would go into a positive progression where you would go 1, 3, 2, 6 until you lose. So here we go. And that's a 15 black. And that's a win. And okay, so we're up 160. We start back at 10 again. And we'll be on first and third. And if we win this one, we'll go into a progression of 1, 3, 2, 6. But we lost, so we go in negative progression again. But like I said, either way, the second bet is 30. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. All right, that's a 0. Okay, so on that one, since we're in a negative progression, we go from 30 to 90. All right, let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. And I think we got it. That's a 1 red. And again, when you increase the bets after losses, once you get a win, you start over. So we're up 170, and we'll be on second and third for 10. And again, the second bet will be 30 regardless of whether we win this, but it will change whether it's a positive or negative progression. And here we go. We won. So now we enter a positive progression of the $30 bet. So we'll be on first and third now for 30.
No more bet.
And now the cycle ends if we lose instead of if we win. So that's a 17 black. And the positive progression ended with the $30 bet because it was that's what it does. It ends with a loss, and the negative progression ends with a win. So we're going to go back to the start again. We'll be on first and third for 10. And that set us back a little bit, but that's okay. The next time we get a full positive progression, it'll pay off. And that's a 10 black. That's a win at 10. So we go to 30 and we go into a positive progression, which means that we are going to increase after wins 1, 3, 2, 6, or 10, 30, 20, 60. And that's a 9 red. And we won at 30. We're going to go back to 20 now, and we'll be on second and third. And the cool thing about the $20 bet in a positive progression is if you lose, you still end up winning in the sequence. So that's 11 black, and that's a loss. So even though we lost that one, that cycle still won because we won on 10 and we won on 30. So let's go ahead and we'll restart because, again, a positive progression ends with a loss. The negative progression ends and goes back to the beginning with a win. So we'll be on second and third now for 10 each. We're up 120, and here we go. We're 6 minutes, 22 seconds into this second part of the competition, and that's a 21 red. And we started out with a win, so we go into a positive progression, and we go from 10 to 30, and we'll be on first and third. Leave the last one that hits out. $60 total bet, and here we go. If we win this one, we will go to 20, but we did not, so we go back to 10. And again, a positive progression ends with a loss. And we'll be on first and third for 10 now. Set us back a little bit, but that's okay. Once we complete a positive progression, another one, it will bring us all back that amount. So we lost, so we enter a negative progression. If you lose the first one, you increase the bet from 10 to 30, just like the positive one. The difference is that it continues to increase until you get a win. And there's another loss. That's a 00. That's no good. So now we go from 30 to 90. We're increasing. And here we go. That's a 180 total bet. And here we go. That's a 9 red. And that's a win. So once you get a win on a negative progression, you start over. And we're up 80. And we'll go back to 10 on second and third. All right, here we go. Let's see what we get. That's a 29 black. And that's a win. So we go from 10 to 30. And we'll be on first and second now. Leave the last one that hits out. And here we go. If we win this one, we go to 20. If we lose it, we go back to the start at 10. And that's a 20 black. And we won. So now we go to $20 bets. And we'll be on first and third. And let's see here. We're up 120. Let's spin. And if we win here on this one, we will go to 60. And that's a 5 red. That's a win, I believe. Yes, it is. So we go to $60 bet now. And we will be on second and third for 60 each. Okay. And if we get this one, we'll have completed the positive progression cycle 1, 3, 2, 6. And that's a 15 black. And we did it. So now you can see we're up 200 and we go back to the start. We completed the positive progression cycle 10, 30, 20, 60. And we'll be on first and third now for 10 each. Here we go. We're 9 minutes in out of 15. That's an 8 black. Okay, that's a win. So we go from 10 to 30. We go to 10 to 30 either way, but we're entering a positive progression because we won. Here we go, 30 on each. And let's spin. That's a 28 black. And now we'll go to that 20 after the 3, 1, 3, 2, 6. So now we'll have 20 on first and second. $40 total bet, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 6 black. And we won the $20 bet, so we're to the last bet in the cycle. Again, $60 on each. And we'll be on second and third. 120 total bet. Let's see if we can complete the cycle again here. And we did. That's a 30 red, so that's awesome. Okay, so we're up $320 now. Awesome. So we'll be on first and second. If you complete the cycle or you lose, it ends the positive progression. If you win, it ends the negative progression. So that's a $10 win. So we enter a positive progression, and we go from 10 to 30. The 1, 3, and the 1, 3, 2, 6. And that's a 12 red. And that's a win. So now we go to a $20 bet, and we'll be on second and third. We're at $360 already. And here we go. And this $20 bet helps protect what you've won. That's a 15 black. And that's a win. So we're back to the $60 bet. 1, 3, 2, 6. And we'll be on first and third for 60 each. All right, we're up 380. Let's go ahead and spin here. Let's see what we get. That's a 4 black. And we completed the cycle again. Look at that. So we're at $440. We'll be on second and third. We're going to restart. Again, you can see we're at 440. Let's spin. We're 11 minutes and 25 seconds in here. That's a 5 red. And that's a loss. So we enter a negative progression now. So we will be on second and third for 30. Which means we're going to increase the bets now until we get a win. And that's a 3 red. And that's a loss. So we're going to go from 30 to 90, tripling the bet. On second and third. Let's see if we can get a hit on second and third 12. And we did. That's a win. So a negative progression ends with a win. We start over. So we're at $450. And we'll be on first and third, leaving the last one that hits out for 10. And man, this is working fantastic. I can't believe I didn't think of this one myself. That's a 34 red. That's why I have all you guys, right? Come up with some great ideas. We won, so we enter a positive progression. And we'll go from 10 to 30. 1, 3, 2, 6. If we lose anywhere along the line, we start over. That's a 27 red. And we lost. So it's over and we start back over. So positive progression ends with a loss, negative progression restarts with a win. And both those I meant restart. So let's go first and second, and we're at $400, $10 on each. We have 2 minutes left in this part of the competition. That's a 29 black, and that's a loss. So we're going to go from 10 to 30 and enter a negative progression, which means it will end when we get a win, or restart when we get a win. Either way you want to put it. And we won, so we restart. We're at 410, and we'll be on second and third for 10 each now. Okay, so that's a 16 red. Okay, and that's a win. So we enter a positive progression. We'll be on first and third for 30. $60 total bet, 1326. Let's see what we can complete here. And I think we lost right away on this one. So again, when you lose on a positive progression, you just take the loss and you restart. And we're up 360 now. We'll be on first and third for 10 each. Minute left in this one. Here we go. It's a 23 red. We lost, so we enter a negative progression, which means we're going to triple the bet and increase each time we have a loss. Let's see if we can get a hit on first or third here at $30. And we did. So that, again, when you get a win in a negative progression, that makes you restart. We're at 370, and we'll be on first and second for 10 each now. We have 30 seconds left in the second part of this competition here. That's a 22 black. That's a win. So we enter a positive progression, which means we're going to go from 10 to 30. We'll be on first and third, leaving the last one that hit out. And we're going to try to complete a 1326 again. Here we go. I think we lost again. And if you lose in a positive progression and you start over, we're at 320 now. We'll be, oh, and we just ran out of time. So we ended up up $320. We didn't have a chance to recover that one, but that's okay. I really like this system. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments as always. And remember to test this out just like all systems on your simulator. And let everyone know down in the comments how you did. And always do that before you go to the casino and risk your own money. I want you guys to know, how it performed for yourself on a simulator like Roulette Royale, like I use. And that really helps everyone out if you share your results. And then if you do decide to take it to the casino, then share your results about that too. But test it first, as always. And that would be fantastic. Remember to send your roulette systems into roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. And it's awesome that you guys send so many in every day. All I have to do is find the one that looks the best for that day, and it's a lot of fun. So I really appreciate your guys' support of the channel. And you guys are what keep it going strong. And I love reading those comments, so keep it up. I went through a lot of them today, and you guys are fantastic. And again, $320 profit. Didn't have the most profit out of the two systems today, but I tell you what, I really like it. Both of them today were fantastic, and I hope you really enjoyed another roulette strategy today. And I think this one is pretty cool because I haven't seen anything like this before. And I'm surprised I didn't think of it, like I said before. But let's keep testing it, see how it is, and keep sharing your results down in the comments so everybody can see and help each other out. I really enjoy seeing you guys help each other out in the comments. I think that's a lot of fun as well. And again, hope you enjoyed this one. And thanks for calling this one in, Solomon. I really appreciate it. This is the Roulette Master. And have a great day, everybody.